Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to in SBM Learning Platform. So here today we are going to discuss about OE. What is OE? Its introductions, why it is used, its benefit, and what benefits we are, how we can calculate the OE. Okay. So let's start. So first of all, introductions. So OE is the some kind of measuring tools on which we can say that how much our machines are effective to produce a good product. Okay. So here you can go through that the sentence written over here. Okay. So in simple word, the OE is a measuring tool which gives overall we can say confidence, or we can say capability, or we can say which make us aware that how much our product or our equipments are effective to produce a good product. Okay. Now another slide. So OE is a key benchmarking metric used to define the throughput gap between current state and world class for your system. So it is a key to define the throughput gap between your current state, whatever the states currently you are having, at the stage you are having, and what is the world class company is following, or what will be a world class for your system. And what it means world class. It means if your OE is greater than 85% or sustaining you are at 85%, that is world class. Good companies, those who are top companies and for implemented OE since a year and ago, they are at the percentage of 95 or 95 plus OE they are having. And many companies which is starting or having only since implemented only last 1 years or 2 years onwards, they are normal companies, those who are getting the range of 30 to 60% of OE. So why we use OE? So it shows are the hidden losses. It reveals the hidden losses and came up on the surface so that we can work on it. So whatever the hidden losses is there, it makes it out on a surface so that we can easily see it and we can easily work on it to remove that losses through driving and improvement projects and other things. Okay. So the same thing written over here in the same slide, that OE is only measure its benefits will be lost, its shortfalls, and it identifies are not acted upon. OE is a total measure performance, but the data used to produce it must be used to prioritize improvement tasks. So as I said, once we will came to know about the losses, we will improve. We can prioritize our task on which we have to work on first and on which we have to work on later on. Okay. And the purpose is to identify the losses, remove the waste, and drive the improvement projects and improvement ideas, which can be you can remove the you can eliminate the losses or remove the losses from the process by implementing Pokayoke tools, Kaizens, by using A3 problem solving tools, Six Sigma projects. So any tools by using by using the tools on which you can remove your losses of the process. Okay. It's also a kind of TPM approach towards a lean culture. It's a journey towards a lean culture, so that by eliminating the losses we can approve, or we can say that our organization is lean now by eliminating that losses. Okay. So so OE is comprises into three factors. One is availability loss, second is performance loss, and third is quality loss. Clear? So OE is a multiplication of three: availability rate, performance rate into quality rate. Clear? Now availability is also divided into two parts: breakdowns and setup adjustment. Performance divided into two parts: minor stoppages, reduced speeds. Quality also divided into two parts: scrap and rework. So these all availability loss, performance loss, and quality loss all divided into two parts, and we also called it six big losses of OE. Clear? So breakdown, setup adjustment, minor stoppages, reduced speed, scrap, and rework. Now what is it? What is breakdown? Breakdown means if my machine is stopping and we require to change any kind of product, even small seal, band, we can say that pump, or we are changing any kind of equipments inside the equipments due to that stoppage, we called it breakdown. Okay. If we are changing that seal, we are changing bearings, we are changing any kind of things inside the machines to restart it out, it's called breakdown. Okay. Now if machine is stopping for less than 10 minutes, that will be a minor stop. More than 10 minutes, that will be called as a process failure. Okay, clear? If you are not changing a part, then it could be a process failure. Even if my machine is just stopping for a seal leakage and I am changing only a small oil seal, then also it could be counted in a breakdown because I am changing a part of a machine. Clear? Now what is setup adjustment? Setup adjustment is the thing when we used to restart our machine, or when we came in the morning, we used to do a startup of our machine. So whatever the time we lost during the startup, during the setting of that machine, is called setup adjustment. That is also a loss, ability loss. Now performance loss. So sometimes our machine used to get stopped for minor seconds, minor minutes. As I said, less than 10 minutes is minor stoppages, minor loss. We count in minor stops. So whatever that stops, the operator used to rectify it, or the operator used to get start the machine within a second, within a minute, is counted in a minor stoppages. And what is reduced speed? So every company has validated speed, or we can say rated speed. Okay, so we used to have a speed from design speed from OEM. What is OEM? Overall equipment manufacturer. So from OEM we used to get a design speed, but we used to validate it at our end, that how much speed our product, our output will be a good output we are getting in a good amount. Okay, so we used to validate at our end, and when we are validating our machines, at that time we specifically set up that validated speed depends on the bottleneck process. And what is bottleneck process? So for knowing more about bottleneck process, you can see my bottleneck analysis presentations. Okay, so on the basis of bottleneck machine speed, we used to validate our machine speed and used to calculate OE. So when, if for example my machine is validated on 100 speed, okay, so 100 rpm per minute or 100 products per minute, and it is producing only 90, 98, the operator is running due to some issues, then it will be a speed loss and definitely going to impact on my performance of output. Okay, now what is quality loss? So any kind of scrap after producing the whole quantity, okay, standard output whatever we have got, after that, after getting the output, if something is getting rejected due to defect, due to any kind of issues, then that will be going to be scrapped or going to be reworked. Okay, reworked, it means ki further we are going to proceed all the process whatever done on the product, and scrap means we are going to directly give it to the scrap area for sale or for incineration. Okay, so for rework, why we used to call it, it's also a loss, because we are going to do a same work on the same product. Okay, once it is got produced, due to the defectiveness or due to the any issues, we are again reprocessing on it. That's why it's a loss, because it's consuming my time, my manpower, my electricity, utility, everything. But in scrap, it is directly going to be incinerated. So in scrap we are having a major loss as compared to rework. Okay, hope all 6 points are clear to all of you. Now how to calculate OE? So for example, we are having a 24 hours. So in 24 hours we are having PM or no plan. So few organizations used to calculate a schedule loss, changeover also as a schedule loss, and few organizations used to calculate changeover as an availability loss. Okay, so basically according to my view, I used to calculate changeover in availability loss, because changeover is also kind of loss. But PM, yes, it is a planned activity which is we need to perform to get the right output and to have effectiveness of our machines. So we need to perform it on monthly basis or quarterly basis as per the frequency. So this activity, the planned activity, we used to remove from OE loss. So PM or no plan. Okay, in availability loss we used to calculate changeover time, breakdowns, startup time, shutdown time, all kind of losses, whatever the time we are not utilizing our machine, means my machine are able to run in that time, but we are not utilizing due to some issues like breakdowns, startup, changeovers. So that time is called as a availability loss. Okay, for example, as I took 24 hours of a shift, so in the PM there was a plan of 2 hours. So now how much time I am having? 22 hours. So I am having a production plant time of 22 hours. 22 hours I am having production plant time, on which behalf I am going to calculate OE. Clear? I have excluded PM. Now in availability loss there is a one breakdown of 1 hour, half an hour startup time and half an hour changeover time. So 2 hours are removed. So from 22 hours now my available run time is 20 hours, because there was a breakdown of 1 hour, startup time and changeover time. So now this time whatever we have lost is my availability loss. So what I will do, 20 hours divided by 22 hours. So my available time was 22 hours, from which I have removed changeover loss, breakdown loss, startup loss, 2 hours. So now my 20 hours is run time, on which I am going to run machine. So 20 hours divided by 22 hours, I am going to get my percentage. Okay, which will be my LT percentage. Now I will talk about performance. So in the performance also, what we used to do, now I am having a 20 hours of run time and my machine speed is 1 amount per hour, 1 unit per hour. So how much I am going to produce in 20 hours? 20 unit. But due to the minor stoppages or speed loss, have produced only 18 units. Clear? We need to produce 20 units because 1 unit per hour, 20 hours I am having a time. So 1 unit into 20 divided by 20. Okay, clear? So 1 unit produced, 1 unit is my validated speed into total run time is 20. So how much I should use to get 20, but how much I got? 18 due to speed loss and minor stoppages. So once I got a less, so 18 divided by 20. So whatever the percentage I will get, that will be my performance rate percentage. Clear? Again I am saying, for example, 1 unit I am going to produce for an hour, 20 hours my run time, so total output should be 20, but I got only 18 due to minor stoppages or due to we can say speed loss. So 18 I got, to 18 divided by 20, that will be my performance rate. Now talk about quality. So what we used to calculate in quality, now 18 units we have produced, but out of 18 also we are having a one defective product. Okay, now the actual good amount is 17 units, which I am going to we can say dispatch to the customer. Now my actual good amount is 17, actual produced amount is 18. So total amount which we have produced 18 and actual good amount which we are going to dispatch is 17. The formula of quality rate is actual good amount produced divided by actual total amount produced. So 17 divided by 18, that will be my quality rate. Now LT rate, whatever the percentage we are having, performance rate and then quality rate, multiplication of all three is equal to OE. So my OE is equal to LT rate into performance rate into quality rate. Hope it is clear. Okay, now let's see how we are calculating. Now here one another example also given. In that it is said that plant production time, always remember it's a plant production time, not total time. Okay, it's not all time, it's a plant production time, means already excluded a PM and other no plan. Okay, now we are having a plant production time of 300 minutes. We have 60 minutes of downtime. So how much time my machine were available? Only to run 240 minutes. Only 240 minutes to run. And how much time was available before the breakdown? 300 minutes. So my total available time. So available total run time divided by total available time. So total run time was 240 minutes divided by total available time was 300 minutes. And we got the percentage 80. So availability rate is 80%. Now in the next, in the performance it is said, okay, clear, we have run 240 minutes. So now my ideal cycle time is 1 unit per second. Okay, so in 240 minutes there are 1440 seconds. So if 1 unit per second, then it means we used to produce 14,100 units. But how much we have produced? We have produced only 14,100 units. Okay, per second 1 unit. In 240 minutes, 14,400 seconds. So 14,400 seconds into 1 unit per second is equal to 14,400 is our actual required theoretical output. but what actual we got? 1400 and 100. So performance rate is actual output divided by theoretical output. So actual output was 14,100 and theoretical output was 14,400. So 14,100 divided by 14,400 equal to 97.9%. That's my performance rate. Now quality rate. As I said, 14,100 was my total actual output. Now how much defective parts were there in that, or for the rework we have used, that is 170. Here it is given. So 14,100 minus 170 is 13,930. Now actual good amount which I am going to dispatch is 13,930 divided by actual amount we have produced 14,100 is equal to my quality rate is 98.8%. So my OE calculation is availability rate 80%, performance rate 97.9 and quality 98.9. So I got OE is 77.38 after the multiplication of 80 into 97.9 into 98.9. Clear? So here we have also shown one more example of OE calculation with the numbers. Okay. So what benefit or how we can eliminate the OE losses? Collect the data, analyze the data and attack on the losses. Implement the Kaizens, use A3 problem solving tools, Six Sigma projects or Puka AOK. Multiple tools we are having to eliminate the losses. Clear? Next, so what a good company used to score in OE. So 85% is world class performance of OE percentage. If we are scoring OE greater than 85%, it means we are a world class organization. If we are nearing about 60%, then we are common organizations, and average we can say that we are in the average of OE organizations. And 40 is the company which is normally starting OE or just started OE to calculate and to see the losses and to eliminate the losses. They used to get 40% of OE, which is normal organization, starting organization or small scale organizations. Okay, what benefits we are going to get? So from the OE, we used to highlight the things which is hidden earlier. We can measure even on complex process also. We can compare that process. We can achieve or we can set a goal and we can parallelly track on it that we are on the track or not, we are achieving our goals or not. We can eliminate the losses which is going to impact in a major way. If we will eliminate our losses, definitely our machine productivity will increase. Once our productivity will be increased, we can easily achieve our CSL, customer satisfaction level. Our customer demand will be easily fulfilled. Our employee will be not overloaded due to the higher production demand. Okay, employee morale will be high as we are eliminating the losses. So in a minimum time, in same time, we are going to produce more amount. So there will be a cost saving also. We can also reduce our inventory, as due to the high time of productivity, we used to keep normal high productivity, high inventories. But once our machine is enough capable and effective to produce the products within a time, whatever the range of customer demand we required within a tuck time, then we can reduce our inventory also. There is a lots of benefit from the OE we used to get. And we are also stepping one step towards the lean culture, to being a lean organization. So that's all in today's learning, SBM learning. Kindly subscribe my channel. Happy learning. Thank you everyone. Please put your comments, questions, doubts in a comment box. We'll revert on the same in case if you are having any doubts in OE. Thank you everyone for watching my channel SBM learning. Keep learning and keep growing. Please like and subscribe.